There are moments in life that seem strange at first, moments you brush off as awkward misunderstandings or harmless quirks. Then there are moments that reveal themselves slowly, piece by piece, until you realize you've been standing far closer to danger than you ever imagined. For me, that realization began during my first year of university. The day my parents dropped me off was supposed to be exciting. It felt like the beginning of a new chapter. After spending hours carrying boxes, unpacking clothes, arranging books, and trying to make a bland dorm room feel like home, my family finally said goodbye and drove away. The room suddenly felt much quieter. I spent the afternoon exploring campus and getting familiar with my new surroundings. By the time I returned, my roommate had finally arrived. His name was Dale. The first thing that struck me was how unusual he seemed. I introduced myself with a smile and held out my hand. "Hey, I'm Dan." Dale stared at my extended arm for several seconds. His eyes moved from my face to my hand as though he was trying to solve a puzzle. Then he gave a short laugh. "Oh." He reached forward and shook my hand with what felt like a completely lifeless grip. I waited for him to introduce himself. He didn't. "So, what's your name?" "Dale." That was it. I tried making conversation. I asked where he was from, whether he was excited about classes, what he planned to study. Most of his responses were one-word answers. Yes, no, maybe. Every now and then he would laugh awkwardly at nothing. Within 10 minutes, we were sitting silently on opposite sides of the room, staring at our laptops. The atmosphere felt heavy, uncomfortable, and for the first time since arriving at university, I began thinking I might have gotten very unlucky with my roommate assignment. At that point, I believed Dale was simply awkward. I had no idea that this was only the beginning. That first evening, I wandered around campus, meeting people from my floor and learning where everything was. Most of the students seemed friendly, and that helped improve my mood. Hours later, I returned to the dorm. Dale was still sitting exactly where I had left him. Same position, same expression, same laptop. "What's up, Dale?" I asked. No response. The silence barely surprised me. Around 9:30, I decided to get some sleep. My side of the room went dark while the glow from Dale's laptop continued illuminating the opposite wall. Midnight came and went. 1 o'clock, 2, 3. The tapping of keys finally stopped. I heard his laptop close. Relieved, I drifted off almost immediately. Less than an hour later, I woke up. Something felt wrong. The room looked different. The blinds had been opened. Silver moonlight spilled across the floor and illuminated every corner of the dorm. And sitting on the edge of his bed was Dale, looking directly at me. Not at his laptop, not at the wall, at me. For a moment I thought I was dreaming. I rubbed my eyes and sat upright. "Dale, what the hell are you doing?" His expression didn't change. After several seconds, he quietly whispered one word. "Sorry." Then he lay back down. The next morning, he was already gone. It was the first time I had seen evidence that he ever left the room. That day was orientation. Hundreds of students moved across campus in guided groups. As we walked past the university gardens, I overheard 2 students ahead of me whispering, "What's that guy doing?" I followed their gaze. Hidden behind a patch of bushes sat Dale. Not standing, not walking, sitting in the dirt, slowly rubbing his hand against the bark of a tree. The image was so bizarre that I stopped walking for a second. Neither student knew I was his roommate. When I eventually told them, they actually apologized. The 3 of us laughed nervously, unsure whether the situation was funny or disturbing. Later that afternoon, the university informed me that another roommate assignment had become available. For the first time since moving in, I felt relieved. I thought my problems with Dale were about to end. I couldn't have been more wrong. That night, I left the dorm to hang out with the 2 students I had met during orientation. For a few hours, everything felt normal. When I returned, however, I immediately noticed something strange. Dale was sitting in a desk chair facing the door, almost as if he had been waiting. "Oh, hey, what's up?" "Nothing." His answer came instantly. I sat on my bed and opened my laptop. That's when I noticed it. Several emails were open. Folders had been accessed. Files I hadn't touched were sitting on the screen. My stomach tightened. I never left my laptop unlocked. Except this time. I slowly looked across the room. "Dale, did you go through my computer?" Before I could even finish the sentence, he practically shouted, "No." The speed of his response told me everything. He hadn't even waited long enough to think. He was lying. I knew it. But something about him made confrontation feel pointless. Instead, I tried to ignore it. Later, while searching for pajamas in my dresser, another unsettling realization hit me. My clothes had been moved. Drawers were out of order. Items weren't where I left them. Someone had been searching through my belongings. Again, I reminded myself that I was moving out the next day. Just one more night. That's all. Sometime after midnight, I woke to the sound of a zipper. Slow, careful, deliberate. I sat upright. A pool of moonlight illuminated part of the floor, and there was Dale, kneeling beside my bag, going through it. I immediately switched on my lamp. The sudden light froze him. "What are you doing?" For a moment, he simply stared. Then he offered the strangest excuse imaginable. "I think you have my toothbrush by mistake." Even he didn't sound convinced. The explanation made absolutely no sense. Still, I held back. There was something deeply unsettling about him. Something that made me question how he might react if pushed too far. The following day, I moved into my new dorm. My new roommate was quiet but normal. We talked. We laughed. The room finally felt comfortable. For the first time all weekend, I slept without worrying about who was on the other side of the room. I believed the nightmare was over. Unfortunately, Dale wasn't finished with me yet. Sunday night felt peaceful. My new roommate and I talked for a while before turning off the lights. The building settled into silence. Hours later, I woke suddenly. At first, I couldn't identify what had disturbed me. Then I heard it. Click. A pause. Click. The sound repeated every 30 seconds or so. Quiet. Metallic. Almost rhythmic. Still half asleep, I assumed something inside the room was causing it. Maybe a loose floorboard. Maybe a pipe. Maybe even a mouse. But as I listened more carefully, the sound seemed closer. Much closer. I got out of bed and followed it. The noise wasn't coming from inside the room. It was coming from the door. A cold feeling crept through my chest. The common area outside always had a small nightlight glowing, so I quietly stepped toward the peephole. I pressed my eye against it. Someone was standing outside. The person was so close that all I could see was the top of their head. They were facing downward, motionless, listening, waiting. Then I heard the sound again. Click. This time I understood what it was. The doorknob. Someone was manipulating the lock, testing it, trying to open it. My pulse exploded. Every strange moment from the previous days came rushing back. The staring, the snooping, the bags, the lies. Without hesitation, I grabbed my phone and called campus police. I whispered my location and explained what was happening. Then I waited. Those next few minutes felt endless. The figure remained outside. The occasional clicking continued. I stayed frozen near the door while my roommate slept through the entire ordeal. Finally, distant footsteps echoed through the hallway. Voices followed, then commands. Loud commands. The clicking stopped immediately. Only then did I dare unlock the door. What I saw waiting outside confirmed every fear I'd had since arriving at university. Several campus police officers stood in the hallway. Between them was a familiar figure. Dale. His hands were secured behind his back. Handcuffs reflected the hallway lights. For a moment, neither of us spoke. The officers asked whether I knew him. I nodded. Then I told them everything. The strange behavior, the staring, the opened emails, the searched belongings. The night I caught him digging through my bag. And now this. The officers listened carefully. As the story came together, the situation became far more serious than a simple dorm dispute. This wasn't someone accidentally wandering the halls. This wasn't a misunderstanding. Dale had somehow found my new room. Then, in the middle of the night, he had tried to get inside. Even now, years later, I still don't know what his intentions were. That's the part that stays with me, not knowing. The police eventually led him away down the corridor. I watched until he disappeared around the corner. That was the last time I ever saw him. No explanations, no apology, no final confrontation, just silence. Rumors spread afterward. Some students believed he had been suspended. Others claimed he was expelled entirely. I never learned which version was true. What I do know is that he never returned. The rest of my university years passed normally. I made friends, went to classes, graduated like thousands of other students. Life moved forward. Yet every now and then, usually late at night when a building settles and unfamiliar sounds echo through the darkness, I find myself thinking about that first weekend. I remember waking up to find someone silently watching me from across the room. I remember discovering my belongings had been searched. I remember hearing a zipper open in the dark. And most of all, I remember looking through that peephole and seeing someone standing outside my door, patiently working the handle while I slept only a few feet away. The truly disturbing thing isn't that Dale was arrested. It's that for several days, I lived beside him without understanding who he really was. And if campus police hadn't arrived when they did, I still wonder what might have happened if that door had finally opened.